Okay, here's today's project. I'm working on my 661, trusty saw that I bought back in early 2016. I've used this thing for milling for 5 heavy years. I had a 56-inch bar on it that entire time. This thing has never really missed a beat. Been a strong, awesome saw. Last year sometime, I was using it just for cross-cutting. Heard a loud pop, found the spark plug blown out of the cylinder. I'm like, well, that can't be good. That's not the hot setup there. Buy a new spark plug, put it in, it threads in really nicely, and it's all good. I use it for another year without fail. The last time I was using it, it made another loud pop, and now the spark plug will not thread back into the cylinder. The threads are just gone. So I'm going to try and get this lit up so you can see what I'm looking at here, but I'm going to attempt to install a helicoil in here. This is specific for spark plugs going into aluminum heads. So this is as good a shot as I can give it without replacing the cylinder. And I still have good compression. I have no issues with the saw otherwise. You know, given all the time and everything on it, it still runs really well. So, you know, like a new one is like $2,000. A new cylinder, like a new saw is like $2,000. A new cylinder is like $450, I think, and that's just the part. I would probably install it. I don't know if I would farm that out for installation on that. This Helicoil kit, I'll get the number there, was $15, $20 on Amazon. I had to buy a 9/16 drill bit to hog out the hole to begin with, so that's what we're going to give it a shot today. This is a really quick process, should not take long. And really, I'm just hoping this can help somebody else if they have the same problem. So let me get some stuff taken off for access, and we'll get into it. Okay, this is kind of hard to see and film all at one time, but you can kind of see the threads are just gone in this thing. And I got the cylinder at top dead center, and I'm going to leave it there. So we're going to drill this thing out, and then we'll start tapping. So that's kind of the steps here. It's a little nerving, but also I really don't have a whole lot to lose because it's not a non-running saw right now anyway, so I don't mind doing this. I've installed a lot of helicoils in my life, so pretty straightforward process. Okay, I have my hole drilled out. I use the 9/16 to open it up to kind of remove the rest of the damaged threads, and I use this special tap that came with my kit to thread the holes, to thread the new hole. If you have never tapped something, especially something of a different metal, where, you know, going steel to aluminum, it's really critical. You kind of getting started, it's kind of tough. You have to keep it really straight. It's not something I can really show you. It doesn't really, you just have to do it once and get into it and really kind of get the feel for it. But it's really critical. You kind of advance half a turn on your wrench or your ratchet, back up a quarter. Advance half, back up a quarter. This stuff can, especially the aluminum, can gall up in your threads really easily. It can make cutting really difficult, especially in a situation like this where you don't want any of the aluminum bits down your cylinder, or as few as you can. I have done it before, where you pack the flutes of this with grease, and that can help catch some of the bits to keep them from falling in, and it does work pretty well. I wasn't super concerned with this. Was able to blow everything out. It looks really clean. It's really dry in the cylinder, so nothing's really sticking. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward process. This is the last act of a desperate man here. I'm just hoping to get a little bit more time out of this cylinder while I can. So I got a spacer picked out, one of the new threads. So what this will do, focus, my spark plug will thread in there, and then what we just cut with the new threads will be there. And then this will thread in, and hopefully the spark plug will stay in and I can go about my business. So I've got my spark plug threaded in there, and it is tightening down really nicely. I'm really happy with that feel. So I think I'm feeling pretty good about this repair. We'll see what it does. Let me get the couple things put back together here and see if she'll fire up. All right, you heard it, it's running, it's working. I'm sure that repair is going to generate controversy. I look forward to all the comments on it. It works. It was, I know I'm on borrowed time. It is kind of a Band-Aid repair, but I feel pretty good about it. It tightened up well. It's tightened as well as the regular spark plug would. So I feel as good as I can for about 30 bucks in parts. Was able to save 500 in parts on a cylinder kit, maybe 800, 1,000 to replace it. So if it gets me a little bit more time, then that's all I need. I know it's kind of my backup milling saw now, used for cross cutting and that. So it doesn't see as much use as it used to, but I still like having it around. So I think this was the best compromise in repairs, and that's that. I'll give a screenshot of the part number if anybody's looking for it. They have in different sizes. You just have to know what size spark plug you have to make that work. So the kit did not tell me. I had to look around on the internet, and it did use a 9/16 drill bit. So hopefully, if least nothing else, that'll help somebody out there. So leave the comments. I look forward to them.